Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Alpha Pension Group Retirement Recap for Wednesday, April 8th. With me, as always, our Chief Investment Officer, Rob Milas, and today, Mark Salamone, our lead partner. Rob, I'm going to turn it over to you. Sort of a weird day in the markets yesterday. Let's talk about that.
That was a funky day. So after the rocket ship that was Monday, the markets, followed through, being up 4% through the early part of the day, and then in the afternoon that rally fizzled, and the indices traded basically unchanged. So I think a lot of the optimism over the flattening of the curve, hit the pessimism of what's actually happening to the economy. So it'll be interesting to follow through and see what happens today. The futures were basically unchanged as I came on. So it'll be interesting to see, kind of what comes next. In the international markets, it was mostly a positive day. Again, they continue to ride that optimism of flattening the curve. And then for the second day in a row, Treasuries backed up slightly with the 10-year note hitting its highest level in terms of interest rate over the last week. And then finally, we have Congress continuing to think about what's the next fiscal response. And we have Speaker Pelosi saying that she is looking for at least another $1 trillion. And I'm hearing, potentially another $2 trillion. So we'll see how that works through. We'll see if they are able to fix some of the things that didn't work so well on this last bill, or enhance some of the things that did work well.
Rob, thanks so much. And on that note, Mark's going to talk to us about the stimulus program. I think it's crazy. This drives me nuts that they're talking about a new stimulus program when the first one literally hasn't launched yet. There's been a lot of talk. There's been very little details and a whole lot of chaos. So, Mark, walk us through what's been going on, and then we'll talk about it a little bit and see if we can provide some clarity.
Yeah, Rich, in the spirit of asking for more money, that's what Treasury Secretary Mnuchin is going to be doing. He's going to be asking for an additional $250 billion to support the small business, what they call the Paycheck Protection Program. So that loan program actually launched last Friday, and it has been reported quite a bit that it's been a bit bumpy. So a lot of people and a lot of businesses have been concerned that the money allocated to this may run out. Whether that's really true or not, who knows? But a lot of businesses tried to apply once they could, and which led to a lot of confusion at banks, and quite honestly, a lot of people right now just trying to see where they stand with their application. So hopefully this extra $250 billion will provide the reassurance that people need.
And one of the very helpful hints that we found for our clients when helping them to explore these options is going to a bank that they have an existing relationship with. So if you're already working with one of the big banks, that's great. If you're not, however, tip number 2 is to go to one of the community lenders. So we're not simply advising about assets that our clients have or providing fiduciary governance and education. We're actually getting to know our clients. So we have a very unique perspective on how this loan program works. We have close to 600 clients, many of which are small businesses, and many of which almost exclusively are applying for these SBA loans under the PPP Act. So talk to me about Bank of America and some of the big banks, because they're running up against some issues as well, aren't they?
Yeah, so the numbers they're reporting are that they've seen a lot of interest in the program. Bank of America reported that they've already seen applications from 177,000 small businesses, and which is accounting for $32 billion almost, which is quite a bit of the amount that they were actually allocated. And Wells Fargo has seen also a lot of applications. So clearly, there's a lot of businesses out there hurting and looking for the money and really looking for it as fast as possible. So the big banks are seeing a lot of activity, and just locally here, I know from the small banks perspective that they're seeing a lot of activity, having a lot of conversations as well.
So those are 2 helpful tips for getting to the SBA loan called the PPP program. And hopefully with the infusion that Mark mentioned from the Federal Reserve, not only will there be the actual assets there, and the stimulus for the small businesses, but hopefully things will move a little bit quicker through the system as well. And thanks everybody for joining us today on Wednesday. Enjoy your day, and we will see you tomorrow.